Hello, people in YouTube land. My name is Art, and I'm about to do a different kind of video today. Um, I waited about a couple of days, so like about a week or two, before I talk about this. Recently, Gillette put out a commercial, and the commercial talks about toxic masculinity. So, naturally, I want to see what that means first. Let me go to the Urban Dictionary. A social science term that describes narrow repressive types of ideals about male gender roles. They define masculinity as exaggerated masculine traits, being violent, unemotional, sexually aggressive, and so forth. And also suggest that men who act too emotional or maybe aren't violent enough and don't do things are get their man card taken away. So basically, it's a really social term that's saying that it's when you become what they call a man's man, a super man kind of thing, where I'm a man and you're gonna listen to me because I'm a man, that kind of thing. That's what they call toxic masculinity. Okay, see right, I'm gonna show you this right here. This is my Gillette Mach 3. I bought this 10 years ago. And of course, it came with of course, these are not the original blades, of course. But, I buy the four blade refill pack every so often. And one pack usually lasts me about a month to a month and a half, or even 2 months if I stretch it. Now, given that, they put out an ad asking men to, check themselves. Because what happened is, this is what the idea, what they call, some people consider this creating soy boys, weak men. For one thing, is I never understood that word either, but I kind of get what you're saying. Asking men should be better than this. One thing that one must understand is that traditional roles of man and woman have changed over 30 some years. Sometimes gradually, but it's drastic, but it's gradual. Just like in today's society, something that you could have done 30 years ago is not acceptable today. Was it about 10 years ago, this one guy got fired from a job by repeating a joke he heard on Seinfeld. And that joke was like sexual in nature. Seinfeld, which I find the most boring comedy I ever seen. And a person gets fired for that? That was like 10 to 15 years ago. But 20 some years ago, you could have said that stuff. And no big deal. 30 years ago, I could have talked to a person about porn. And no one would give a damn. These days, I can't, if I say something like that, whoa, you can't say things like that. People are too sensitive. And I found out people are too sensitive. But then again, guess what? That's the way how our world is shaping. It's being sensitive. not offending everybody. So by not offending everybody, is that the new? That's the new norm. Okay. For example, the LGBTQ community has gotten more popular now because a lot more people are coming out. Before they couldn't come. Before they couldn't even do anything. Now they're coming out. So you say things. So that means sometimes you can't say gay jokes anymore. And I'm surprised. I remember back years ago, Richard Pryor, even Eddie Murphy, the white people jokes. You could have said that stuff, but now you saying that stuff could be would consult racially offensive. Now here's the thing. In a way, it's kind of good that we're shifting in this way, but also kind of bad at the same way. Okay, and just some of you guys don't. Some of these guys don't understand that. Now, here's the thing. One of the things that's talking about bullying. Talking about boys will be boys. Well, that's true. Boys will be boys. Yeah. I'm getting close to 50. Yes, was I bullied before? Yes. Did I bully other people? Yeah. But guess what? That was like in the 70s and 80s. Okay, we bullied, got our asses kicked, and showed up to school the next day. Sometimes I got my ass kicked. Sometimes I kicked ass. No big deal. These days, people get bullied. They commit suicide. People getting bullied these days. They're taking guns and knives to school and shooting people. That's why they're saying. Maybe we should stop the bullying. Before bullying, it was all in your face. They came up to you face to face and they did that stuff. They didn't call the telephone. Now, to these days, I could bully somebody with this. I can bully somebody with my phone. I can give them stupid text messages, harassing them and all this other stuff. Because my niece got harassed like that. And one time she was crying. So I looked up, I grabbed her phone and said, "Listen, motherfuckers, if I ever find out who is this, me and some people are gonna roll up on you." And the funny thing is, after I wrote that out, do you know she got called in for that? And what happens? My mom had to step in, and she was like, "Hey, her uncle, he don't play around. He loves his niece, and she was being bullied. He didn't like that. He took the phone and he started contacting these. Hey, well, now will he really roll up on people? Probably not. But the thing is, the idea, these guys shouldn't be bullying my niece in the first place. Okay. So what happened is I told them they bully your ass, punch them in the face. Okay. There's nothing wrong with bullying, roughhousing that style. But when you're bullying, that's wrong. That's been wrong when I was a kid. And that's why a lot of people grew up and said, "Oh man, that was so wrong when I did all that stuff." You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Someone telling you that we should be better than that, that's actually a good thing, in my opinion. They say, if you see somebody approach a woman wrong, stop them, put them in check. Okay? Now think about this. Back in that mid to late 80s, one of my favorite shows was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith. When Will Smith approached the girl he liked, you see him do all the, "Hey, what's up, baby? What's up?" Guess what? Back then, 20, 30 years ago, you could do that, and that's not a big deal. It's annoying. You look goofy as fuck, but that's one thing. These days, if you did something like that, that could be considered harassment. In the era of the Me Too, people complain about Me Too, but the problem is that if men acted more like gentlemen instead of fucking assholes who think they could take anything and do whatever the fuck they wanted to, you wouldn't have the Me Too movement. Like some of these guys who are talking about, "I'm woke, I'm a woke male." I'm like, you're not woke, you just have a different viewpoint. And people talk about the Me Too. I'm like, well, I'll tell you what. If people like Harvey Weinstein wasn't saying pussy for play, People taking advantage of women, raping women, date raping. If you wouldn't have been doing, if we wouldn't have been, if me as males wasn't doing all that kind of stupid shit, back in the day, a lot of times when we say, we'd be telling people, people, guys tell other guys, if a girl says no, still go for it, no big deal. These days, that's considered rape. As you can see right now, these days, back then, was it rape? Yeah, but now it's more heavily concentrated now. Within 30 years, that line has shifted. So the idea of approaching a woman the wrong way, I mean, tell you the truth, I got called in my own, I've been at my job for like almost 20 years, and I got called a couple of times for sexual harassment. Want to tell how bad it was? Now, the thing is, I work in an office full of women at the time. Now there's more men there, but still more women than men. On my screensaver on my computer, I had a picture of Halle Berry in an evening gown. I got called in for potential sexual harassment because Halle Berry showed like an unfit whatever. Now the thing is, I look up, to me, that was silly as hell. That was fucking silly. But guess what? That's the world we live in today. That's the world you living in. That's the world I'm living in. So for a company who wants to open a dialogue, so for a company that wants to open up dialogue so that way we can discuss this in a rational manner is a good thing. Now what happened is, a lot of people, because you're telling me how to be a man, I'm going to throw this out. I'm not buying your products anymore. I'm not supporting your products anymore because you're trying to tell me how to be. Now, to me, that shows immaturity on your part. You're acting more soy, in my opinion, than actual man. Because a commercial should not dictate how you spend your money or make you feel that you're feeling doubtful or anything like that. And it's true, and it's very true. I mean, women, the commercials are designed for actually women, because guess what? Women do majority of all the shopping. So a commercial like that it's actually it's directed at women, but it's targeting the men, and that's a good thing. But the problem is that I see videos of people throwing away their Gillette razors. Now think of it, these are expensive as all hell. These are expensive. Do you think, I had this for 10 plus years. You think I'm going to throw this away because of a commercial? Are you fucking nuts? If you had any balls, in my opinion, if you had any balls, you wouldn't. If you're not going to buy Mach 3 or Gillette products, you don't have to make a big deal of it. Just toss it aside. You don't have to make videos of it. You don't have to be, I want to talk, you don't have to, just toss it aside and buy something else. You don't have to see, but the thing is, by doing that and broadcasting that, you're acting more like an immature brat. So, and the funny thing is, did that commercial make me feel less of a man? No, it did not. That's their opinion. That's what they say. I look up. I say, I kind of agree with them. One, I'm older now. Plus, after almost getting busted for sexual harassment a couple times, you kind of look at things in a different light. But see, the thing is, most of you guys who doing all this, you never got busted for sexual harassment. You never had gotten in trouble for anything like that. So so right then and there, you should, if you want to throw away a good product, that's fine. That's your call. But it doesn't make a difference. Guess what? I'm still gonna buy it because buying this Gillette it's not making me any less of a man. What makes me a man is that I'm a male gender. What makes me a man? Because I got a set of nuts. Okay, that's what makes you a male. That's what makes you a male. But what makes you a man is how you deal with things and how you treat people. That's the measure of a man. Now, if what I'm saying is top, you want to say, oh, you're kind of soy. I'm not soy. I'm just more enlightened. And sooner or later, you might get more enlightened, and you be like, I think of things in a different way. But anyway, to tell you the truth, I love my Gillette, and I'm keeping it. I might buy, tell you the truth, maybe in the next couple months, I might retire this and buy another one. Because there's going to be more of a surplus. Since there's more of a surplus, the price will drop since you guys are not buying them. So score for me. Oh well. This is Art saying this, after you watch this, please comment on it because I want to see what your thoughts are. And let's open up a discussion. We can point fingers at each other all day saying you're right, you're right, you're wrong, you're wrong. But no, it doesn't get anyone anywhere. Let's open a discussion. Okay? Talk to you guys later.